We know and have known for a little bit of time that Marvel Studios right now is working with writer to pen the first entry of the X-Men in the MCU. And now, according to a report that stems from an insider that's been backed up by others, we know who the villain of the first film will be, and it's none other than Mr. Sinister. Could it be true? Is it actually possible that we are finally going to get Sinister? After trying to get him into a X-Men film under the Fox regime of the franchise, ever since X-Men 1, he always seems to slip through the cracks. The closest we got was, of course, Fox's last attempt at an X-Men film, which was New Mutants, but they decided to scrap everything related to Sinister out of that film right as they started shooting for whatever reason. So we didn't even see him. He's just alluded to. We, of course, had allusions to him in Deadpool 2 as well, and he was supposed to be, again, alluded to in the X-Force film and Fox's original Deadpool 3. He was going to be a big overarching villain in a new direction that they were going in that obviously never happened. We kept hearing there might be plans for him, but we don't know when. Now it's coming out that Disney has decided that he will be the villain of the first film entry in the MCU. Now, to me, this is the one that makes the most amount of sense. You can't do Magneto again, because he literally ends up being the villain in every Fox film. So it's like, okay, we can't really do this. So how do we differentiate it? Well, Sinister is obviously a perfect choice, especially if you look at the character's history in the comics, what they could do with him, how you could tie him to the whole mutants in the MCU. I mean, there's a story right there that naturally makes sense, especially if they're going to continue with this path that, oh yeah, mutants have been around for a while. You just never really saw them. You know, because She-Hulk did that. So it's like, there's a way to tie Sinister into this with a, no pun intended, sinister plot that could relate to why there hasn't been many mutants showing up, right? And I think using him as a villain the first go-round is smart because the X-Men film is going to make money regardless. So why waste it on some bigger villain that then you have to dispose of in the first go-round? Like, if it was Magneto, it'd be pointless. Sinister makes sense. It's the villain that works. I would personally prefer Arcade, the first one, but hey, Sinister is a decent enough pick, one of my top 2 picks, so, you know, why not? The only thing I want to see is how do they handle the character's sort of, you know, mannerisms and handling of him as a villain in the MCU. Because I think you kind of got to be careful with Sinister to a degree, because you kind of want a villain that's also very much going to give you amazing action sequences. And Sinister, I think he's going to have to kind of be backed up by a team to provide some of that action. So it's probably going to be more than just him as the core villain. You know, he's more than likely going to have his group, which, again, is fine. And if we deal with some fallout of the Foxmen universe in the MCU, you can further tie this in an interesting way and find a really good angle on him. So I'll remain optimistic, and if he ends up being the villain, let's hope that it's handled well.